That's why I literally salute people that move to another state, especially by themselves.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even far, a couple hours away in Baltimore for college. Everything's different.
Yeah.
I can't get the bull around the corner to do my brakes. I gotta pay full price. I gotta really get an inspection. Like everything feel like it's triple now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because all the little ins and outs that I used to abide by, they don't exist out here. And to figure some of them out, you can put yourself in danger.
Yeah.
You can expose yourself too much. So it's better to just take the walk, but it's like, it's not so easy no more. Like, you know what I mean?
Especially in Philly. I feel like Philly has this, like, even though there's so much divide and hate in Philly, there is some love still. And there's some, like, camaraderie that people don't realize. I see it.
Change the environment. Change the people you around.
You're around.
It's
like,
around.
I think that if you don't, like...
Look at that board. There's a lot of love on that board.
There's a lot of love in Philly, right? I feel like I don't really subscribe to the fact... or the same facts that normal people do when it comes to Philadelphia. I see different sides of Philadelphia, good and bad, right? And one of the good things I see about Philadelphia is, like, when it comes down to the music scene and just the art scene and creative scene in general, there's so much camaraderie. Like, you think about everyone
I just said
like,
this on Monday on the live stream. Go ahead.
That's so crazy. If you look at, like, there's, like, 10 different, maybe curators, we can say, who's, like, been doing things somewhat consistently. There's maybe, like, 5 we could say who's been doing consistently. Mm-hmm. But, you know, all these people that you see them in the same kind of spaces. Mm-hmm. And you usually see them all in one space, and then you'll see the rest of them kind of scattered here, there.
Because Philly has had that for generations. Our city is kind of set up for that. They'll tear down the nightclubs, but they don't tear down the creative scene. Like, you can't. We was the ones that had the 5 spot and all of that back in the day. Generationally. Wow. Just think about who came out of the 5 spot. Everybody. Everybody was there. Everybody was there watching each other do what y'all do at Open Vibe. It was the same thing. It was people, like-minded people on a different energy that was like, yo, we gonna go be creative with people that respect what we respect. And we're going to have fun and we're going to support each other. And then we're going to carry that on when we see each other outside of here. Or when we go on social media and we see you got a t-shirt. You know what I mean? That's how you get what was it called? What was the web page that the Roots and all them used to be on, the chat room? Damn, I forget what it was called. But it birthed a lot of the journalists and a lot of the podcasters that you see now. Like Jinx and all them came from there, huh? Okay, Player. Okay Player.
Oh, Okay Player.
Okay Player was a big deal, but it was spearheaded. A lot of it was Philly. Mm-hmm. It was Philly. It was the energy that we had. It was the soul scene. It was the hip hop scene. It was the live instrumentation. We've always had creative, and we always had boxing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
They never die in Philly.
That's true.
And that's what I was saying on Monday.
Yeah, that's so lit, and I feel like. You know, that's so crazy about Philly too. Like I have this new obsession with neo soul. Mm-hmm. Like I've never not that it wasn't like around me.
So neo soul isn't a curse word.
Neo soul? Is that a curse? Is that bad? I don't
debate.
know. Am I
debate.
It's a debate going on? Wait,
it was a debate at one point.
Oh,
because
okay.
like neo soul, new soul, like you know what I mean? Like
I guess
why classify?
People get so touchy about the boxes
because artists are sensitive about
they shit. I know, and I'm one of them, so I can't even be mad at them. But I can't. What I do want to say is that like it's such a Philadelphia genre for me. Like it's so like. You can be from other places and attempt it, but no one is going to do it like how they do it here. Like, and I'm going to tell you something, like, it has been, like, now that I'm, like, because I'll give you some context. Like, I was super into, like, very commercial music, right, for a very long time, like, forever. Like, not that I wasn't into, like,
I was going to ask you why now neo soul, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that's some context. Like, so, not that I wasn't into other indie music, but it was just, like, really commercial, and now I can appreciate it so much, and I can draw inspiration when I'm around certain places in Philly, like whether it be downtown or somewhere like some random park that someone just like did a bunch of art, and I can kind of like make the connection from the music to the art to the way I feel. And like, I don't know, I just appreciate it so much. So like, shout out to the Roots for having things like Okay Player, because those types of things like brought neo soul to where it is now, to where I could be like, oh no, I've made the transfer. I can't listen to Drake anymore.
It's funny, listening to you just reminds me of the Jill Scott interview when they asked her where did she get her inspiration for her music, and she said, I just sometimes go to Philly and hop on the subway. Mm-hmm. She said, I just ride the subway and people watch.
Yeah, I used to.
You know what I mean? I'll just walk around the parks. Like the way that her videos come across is literally how she come up with the songs, like type of thing. And it's like that's what it is here. Like I remember a few years back, Jim Jones had dropped a new project in the middle of his good project run, because Jim been on a little run, right? And we was on our way to New York. We was on our way to Fashion Week. That's what it was. As soon as we hit the bridge, my man was like, put the Jim Jones on. Yo, it sound different when you ride into New York City. Like, it just do.
It's a different feeling.
West Coast music, like, you appreciate it different if you know what I mean? If you Miami, like, it's just, we need to get amongst the things that bring us back to what's naturally here so that we can feel it and have our own interpretation of it. Yeah,
that's definitely a real thing, too. I love that you just said that, like, the different parts in the country and just being in them and having the music, like, there's like, I feel like some Nelly ain't gonna hit the same if I'm not in Missouri. Like, it's just not gonna hit the same. Motherfuckers said they hated like,
Bruno Mars. I said, like you ever heard him at a pool bar before? You ever sitting at a pool bar? You can listen to the whole first album and you won't blink. You will groove. Like, it's just,
I believe it's vibes. One of things.
You know, wherever they was at, where they created. That's why some gangsters, they get money, they go to Miami, that album come out garbage because they need to be back in the basement.
Yeah, for sure.
Or at least on the 13th floor somewhere, but they don't need to be in paradise making this music.
See, that's the thing. When you take away the realness of music, in music, you get less quality music. And I know this from experience. Like, my music used to try to make my music one way. Like, when I say try, I used to force myself to make music one way, this way, all the time. Got to be like this. Today you need to write a song about this. Today you need to write. I used to be like that with myself. Crazy, right? Because I thought I had the wrong ideas. And I kept thinking, like, oh, I need to be this way or this way. And I would try to force that way, right? And once I realized that, like, just being real about myself, being true to myself and letting that out is going to have so much, it's going to have long-lasting effects, whereas this music that I'm just putting out that's trying to be like something is going to have that, it's not even going to have that quick buzz and disappear. It's not going to get nothing. It's not going to get the traction that I'm looking for. And I think a lot of people they try to make their music or try to make their persona, their image or whatever in one way. And then when they get discouraged, because that's not the way you're supposed to do it. So once you get discouraged enough, you kind of give up and say, oh, I tried. But no, you didn't try the right way.
Because you didn't tap into that vein.
Right. You didn't tap into that vein. You didn't tap into yourself. You didn't even think about, like, what you wanted to create. You thought about what you should be creating or what you need to be creating for this and that. And I know people give up off of that. Because if I wasn't as strong-willed as I was, I should have been giving up. Because I was doing it for years, making trash. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say trash because people love the song and I do too. They're not trash, but when I think about the meaning, like, what did I want for you to?
You three stacks with it.
Yeah, like, I want you, when you listen to this album, Sunflower Gunpowder, when you listen to it, you're gonna walk away questioning some things about yourself. You might think, oh, wait, do I have a habit of self-sabotaging myself? Because it's a song called Self-Sabotage that just dropped actually Friday.
Do I have a habit of self-sabotage?